Good day, students. Today we're going to look at solution to exercise N, number 1, exercise N, on page 36. This is in your book 2, chapter 4, part of your ma1025 booklets. Now, this one's asking to solve an equation that has fractions or rational expressions, right? You see we have different denominators in each of the terms. So how do we go about solving that? Well, one of the best methods to use dealing with fractions is to get rid of the fraction, okay? So what we like to do is get the LCD. So first we're going to find the lowest common denominator, okay? Then we're going to multiply each term by the LCD to get rid of, so each term by the LCD to get rid of the fraction. Now, that's the best method to use anytime you have fractional equations. So how do we go about doing that? Well, take a look at your three denominators, 2, 3, and 4. Find the LCD between 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So what is the lowest common denominator between 2, 3, and 4? And most people quickly can come up with that. If I start with 4, then go to 8, no, 12, yeah, looks like 12, right? All will divide into 12. Now you know how to find LCD, so I'll leave that to you. Now what I like to do is write the LCD in front of each term. So multiply each term by the LCD. So there's the first term, minus, and then 12 times the second term. So I like to see it right in front of each term so I can see the cancellation better. Okay, so write it in front of each term like that. Now how does that simplify? Well, watch how quick it becomes a much easier equation to deal with. Because now I have 12 here and a 2 here, so I can actually, because that's multiplied, I can cancel. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 12 6 times. Then you're just left with 6 times x, distributive property, and 6 times 1. So see, the first term now, the fraction is gone, and I have 6x plus 6. Same idea here. 3 goes into 12 4 times. Now, careful, that's a negative in front of that 4, so if it helps you, change it to plus and put the negative right in front of the 4. Because remember, subtraction is the same as plus and negative. Some people don't need to do that. Some people like to do it that way. That's up to you. But then it's negative 4 times negative 2, or positive 2, which is negative 8x. But be careful, it's negative 4 times negative 1. So minus signs often, this is where if a mistake is made, it's usually made here. Because it's minus 4, because that minus goes with the 4, times negative 1, which is plus 4. Okay? So again, if it helps you, do this. Change it to plus and put the negative in front of the 4, and that way you probably won't forget it. Okay? So either way, it's up to you. Now back to the other side. So we still put in our equal sign. Then 4 into 12 3 times. 3 times x, 3x, 3 times negative 5, negative 15. Now, doesn't that look like a much easier equation to solve? No fractions. So gather all your x terms together. I got 6x, I'll leave that, and negative 8x on this side. I have another like term of 3x, so that has to be moved over, or subtract 3x from both sides. Some people show it like this. It's up to you. Okay, I just do the move part, do the same thing. Minus 3x equals, now the negative 15 stays on this side. That doesn't change. But I'll move any other like terms over. So I see a plus 6. That comes this way. So that'll become subtract 6. I see plus 4. That comes over here. So subtract 4. Now, combining all like terms. 6 minus 8 minus 3. Now, if you're still having trouble with signs, go to your calculator and type it just like you see it. 6 subtract 8 subtract 3. That's going to be negative 5x on this side. Okay, and on the other side, be careful if you're using if the first one, this has to be a negative sign on your calculator, where the other ones are subtract, right? So there's a difference between the negative sign and the subtract sign on your calculator. So down on the bottom here, you'll see the negative sign. So if you're starting with a negative, right, you're not going to say subtract, you'll say negative 15. Then you can say subtract 6, subtract 4. And that, of course, will give you negative 25. Now, of course, all that's left to do is isolate x by dividing each side by the coefficient, which in this case is minus 5. So this cancels, leaving me with negative divided by negative, positive 5 as my answer. Okay? Now, you can check these if you want. I encourage you, if you do have time, to check a few answers. So I put 5 back in the original equation. So what I'm going to do now is put 5 back in here for x. I'll put it in here for x and here for x and see if I get the same thing on both sides. So I got 5 plus 1 over 2, subtract 2 times 5 minus 1 over 3 should equal 5 minus 5 over 4. So 5 plus 1 is 6 over 2 minus 2 5s are 10 minus 1 is 9 over 3 should equal 0 over 4. I got 3. 6 over 2 is 3. 9 over 3 is 3. 0 over 4 is 0. 0 does equal 0. So we know we're correct. So there's a complete solution for 1n on page 36 of your chapter 4.